Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
You nailed it.
Right, first time.
You nailed it.
And there we are.
There we are. That works. Magic button.
Hey.
Okay, everybody. So my name is Darren Windham. I'm the Economic Development Director and staff to this committee. I'll sort of handle moving through things today, and then at the end, we'll be electing officers, and then we'll have a chair, and that person will take that role. So that's who I am. I'll go to my left.
I'm Don Griselton. I'm anticipating to be a member of this committee when it starts.
I'm Darius Thompson, lifelong, well not lifelong resident, but 30 year, almost a 26 year resident of Exeter. I've been involved in a number of different volunteer activities, and most importantly, I'm excited to be part of the train committee as I've recently retired from Amtrak in April of this past year.
Congrats.
Thank you. After 12 and a half years, I figured it's time to retire, and so now I can be on the train committee without any conflict of interest.
Awesome.
Wow, that's awesome. Jonathan Ring, Exeter resident for a long time, and happy to be here.
Prolific walker.
Jen, you're up.
Jed?
Doug Eastman, Building Inspector, Code Enforcement. I'm here for staff support for Darren and the committee.
Hi, Kenneth Berry, longtime resident of Exeter, avid fan of the Downeaster.
And I'm Bob Hall, longtime fan of the Downeaster since its very inception. And I'm going to be the regional representative on this.
Along with Jen. Yep.
Jen, yeah.
And my name's Dan Chartrand. I am the select board rep to this newly minted town committee.
Okay, so we have an agenda here. And the first order of business is discuss train committee charge, mission and plans to include work done with the ad hoc train committee over the past 2 years, which is almost all of us in this room. What happened was a couple of years ago, Russ Dean was attending the NEPR, the Northern New England Passenger Rail Authority meetings. And unfortunately, his schedule got too busy and he wasn't able to go to those meetings anymore. And then I was asked to attend in his stead. So I started going. And when there's a portion in all of those meetings where all of the stations get to talk about what's going on with their station, what their updates are, and what have you. And I began to realize that unlike most of the stations, we really have a lot of work to do. We don't have bathrooms. We don't even have walls. We just have a platform with a roof. And we have a lot of challenges, including parking and access and what have you. And so myself and Don Brazelton and Bob Hall decided to try to call together a little group of people to try to take a look at this. And over some time, and I'm going to let Bob and Don sort of jump in a second to talk about the real history of it. But in terms of the ad hoc committee, we were meeting once a month for the last couple of years. And then in discussions with the select board and our select board rep, Dan Chartrand, it was discovered that we really need to be a full committee with transparency, be on TV, and drum support. And that is why we are here. This is our initial committee. And after today, we'll have a chair and other officers, and agendas will go out, and anybody's welcome to attend in public. And with that, I'll turn it over to either Don or Bob if you want to talk about the history.
Yeah, let's talk about the history of the Downeaster. My involvement began way back in 1989. And I read a small article in the Portsmouth Herald, which was talking about a group of people in southern Maine, mainly the Portland area, that were considering getting together and seeing if they could restore passenger service between Boston and Portland. Well, that group became known as Train Riders Northeast, and I'm now vice chair of that. But we've been meeting monthly since 1989, which is hard to believe, 30 years now. And what has transpired over that time is really a feat that probably couldn't happen today, and that is that we got 3 states to cooperate, Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts, and dealt with 3 levels of government, local, state, and federal, and we were able to succeed and have a train that actually does run, thanks to Judge Mitchell and other people in the state of Maine, that runs from Boston to Portland. The only way to get by rail from Boston to Portland is to go through Exeter. And that's why I knew that this was the committee that I should be on. So I joined the committee, been there ever since. It's been one of the things I always say is we wait for a bathroom in Exeter for 25 years. So I waited 15 years for that first train, and that's an incredible amount of time. But good things do happen if you have patience, and that's what happened. And the train is doing a wonderful job, carrying lots of people. It's a big hit. Transportation picture over the 30 years has changed. I mean, a lot of people said, I remember going to a meeting right here in Exeter where a state representative said, no one will ever ride that train and it's going to be a waste of money and and so on and so forth. But even the Fosters had to change their editorial board, and they came back and said, we were wrong, that the train is a success, and so be it. And now I'm on the committee, and I'd just like Exeter to join other stations and to take a look at what we offer the public. If you want people to come to Exeter by train, you've got to have something there to welcome them, and we don't do that. We're great for commuters, which is great, but let's have people come the other way. Exeter's a beautiful town. We want people to enjoy Exeter. We want people to stay here, go to the restaurants, shop here, just see what we have. Thank you.
Did you want to add anything?
Well, a couple of things that Bob, good morning, everybody. I've been, I say this jovially and with due respect, I've been sort of the bag carrier for Bob for all those years and delighted to do so. So Bob and I, plus some others at the beginning, were volunteers. We used to go down and actually, before the town got involved, is go down and clean it up, beautify it, rake leaves, haul trash, and gradually those tasks have migrated to the town. They're doing a great job for us. Bob said Portland, but actually the train goes to Brunswick, which has been an addition in the last 10 years, is now open to Brunswick. And possibly it will go beyond that, and even perhaps to New York City in time we'll have a connection. But we're a small town, and we have the benefit of having 10 trains a day, 5 round trips. Few towns, and even some cities in the United States, have 10 trains a day. When the pandemic came, the ridership went absolutely to zero. But Amtrak was smart enough to pay the employees and keep them on because they could sense something else was going to come when this is over. And that has. In the first, up to the pandemic, the ridership on the train was largely commuters. But now that's shifted. The commuters are there, but also the mid-day trains that come at 10 in the morning and at noon and at 3 in the afternoon, approximately. Many times they're almost filled with people that are going and doing other things and using it as a means of transportation. So Bob hinted at the economic development. It's got great economic development potential, as you know, for people to come to Exeter and use it as a destination. Come here to dine, to shop, to have a great time, get on the train and go back to wherever they're going to go. So ridership is really on. Bob said we had gotten together, or you did, Darren, gotten together for the last number of years, and we've worked on some ideas. I thought before I got here to send you some of the ideas and things, but I didn't do that because they're solution specific. And I'm suggesting that perhaps our first discussions ought to be with new members on the committee, should be more of a broader discussion of what are our goals, what are our ideas, so that everybody can sort of get up to speed and have their own insertion of ideas, and how much of this do we want to engage the community and development before we get to some site-specific solutions. I think that would be ramping up ahead of and running fast ahead of the committee before the committee really has a chance for thorough input. So that's my thoughts for the morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have a couple other things I just want to sort of have you guys get into and explain to the committee and then to the community at large. I would like to explain the role of NEPRA, the investment they've made in marketing, and a little bit about how the train is now, they market the train by to sporting events, to opera, to whatever is happening in Boston or Portland or Brunswick, and trying to get ridership that way, particularly the marketing that NEPRA does. But could you start by the relationship of what NEPRA is to the Downeaster?
Sure. NEPRA, which is the Northern New England Passenger Rail Authority, was set up by the state of Maine. It's a separate agency because Maine DOT, or a state, doesn't run the train. Okay, so that's a separate agency that was set up like the Maine Turnpike for the Turnpike in Maine. So what happens is that any funding or anything that's dealt with, whether it's state or federal money, goes to NEPRA, not to the state of Maine for the train. You know, so it's
Bob, NEPRA's means,
NEPRA.
what the?
Oh, yes, it's Northern New England Passenger Rail Authority.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. What else? I see a second part of that question was.
I was just, I wanted the folks to understand that it is, the Downeaster is all the money runs through NEPRA, and there's no money coming in from Mass and New Hampshire. It's strictly.
Oh, yeah, I can explain that.
Yeah.
So as far as NEPRA is the agency that contracted with Amtrak for the service. So Amtrak does not, it's what they call a state subsidy line, which the Boston to Brunswick service is, the bottom line is it's any cost overruns are paid for by the state of Maine. New Hampshire pays nothing. There's no, by state law here in New Hampshire, we only fund rubber tire vehicles. That's by the Constitution. So anything that is done for our station here in Exeter is paid for by the town of Exeter out of our taxes, local taxes. Let's see what else happens.
One more fact. So the line that runs from Boston all the way up to Brunswick is not owned by Amtrak Downeaster or NEPRA. It is owned by, it was Pan Am, but then the CSX took over, which is actually a good thing in my personal opinion, where they can perform better maintenance, better upkeep, and I've seen different things at grade crossings that I noticed. So they've done a great job. Hats off to CSX.
And in fact, people in Exeter can look up and down the line, and last year they cleared an immense amount of overgrowth and brush that what existed along the tracks, and CSX cleaned that out. So going back to the actual service, so Maine contracted with Amtrak to run the service. It's run by through NEPRA from Boston to Brunswick. Maine pays the bottom line if there's any cost overruns. New Hampshire does not fund any of it. And Massachusetts does pay, but not cash. It pays what they call in-kind, which is because the Downeaster runs over the MBTA lines from the state line at Atkinson and Haverhill right into North Station. And that is an in-kind service. And they provided 2 stops, one where they pick up and discharge, that's in Haverhill, and the other one is Woburn, where the Anderson parking facility is. There's also express bus there from there to Logan Airport.
Okay, so trying to get back to the local, and then we'll start to get back to the agenda. I do want to and to Darius' point, let folks know that what the town actually owns at the train station is just the parking lot and the access. CSX owns from the curb cut on the, not curb cut, from the edge of the curb in the parking lot towards the tracks and beyond.
They own the sidewalk?
They own the sidewalk. They own where the platform is. CSX owns all of that. The town of Exeter owns none of that. So we, I believe, pay a fee to have the platform. And as Don pointed out, there's been a lot of discussions with this ad hoc group about where we could put a station and what it could look like, and et cetera. And there's also some negotiations we're hoping with some other entities for parking nearby. All things we've done at this point at the ad hoc, but we'll let that sort of come out, start over, I guess we'd say, as a group, per what Don said. So, does anybody else want to add anything before we get into the agenda?
One question. So from the Massachusetts line Does CSX own
That's correct.
the rail or
CSX
MBTA?
Oh, the MBTA.
Yeah,
owns it.
yeah.
The state of Massachusetts owns all the rails in Massachusetts on this line.
So CSX,
Owned from the Hampshire
they're
line.
north.
Yes.
To Brunswick, yeah.
Well, and Bangor and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Knock on
Place
wood.
else, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
knock on
yeah,
wood.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
It's complicated.
so
Huge.
I think that what we ought to consider doing is maybe next time we come with some ideas and actually create an actual charge and mission statement. I can draft something, or Don or whatever, or Bob, we can put something together, and then maybe the committee would vote on specifically what our charge would be.
For the next 20 years? What do you mean?
No, for this committee. Like, every committee has like what their mission goals and what have you, and I thought that,
So not only improving the station, but something else if we have
well, I think
other
some
ideas.
Yes, absolutely.
It can always be revised, Ken, but
Yeah.
to start out, it's good to have a charge.
Yep, and don't
We don't
forget.
have any of that in the previous stuff?
Because it was an ad hoc committee, probably.
Yeah, no, we didn't do
We
that.
didn't
Yeah.
have a charge.
Did you mean previous before, like, committee before the
Yes.
official committee? I don't know. I wouldn't even find that. Okay,
Just gave
so
us this handout, so.
no. So the handout, the package you have, if you look at the first part, as the ad hoc committee knows, we applied to NEPA for a SOGR grant, a state of good repair grant, which is, we're not allowed to put new things down our train station, but we're allowed to, with this grant, to repair things that need it, such as the heating strip that hasn't worked for however many years, and any other things. So Don and Bob were good enough to work with our Department of Public Works and put together a wish list of things to fix, which we applied for. I had the idea of, instead of putting the money in, how about we use the DPW folks to do the work, which they agreed, and so it didn't cost the town anything. And we just, these repairs that are listed in here, which again, I'll send electronically, they will be done in the spring of this year. So,
That's the fourth page of this
yep. And
fiscal year 2026 station maintenance and repair agreement? Is that
yep,
what
and then the
you're talking
lump sum proposal. Yeah. And you can see it says replace failing tactile strips on upper platform.
That's the fourth page.
Yep, concrete repair and power washing. Weed removal and mulching. And then there's a list here, which I can, if you guys want to run through really quick. Remove and dispose of rub rail ADA plates and deteriorated concrete. Grind concrete surface under ADA plates. Power wash surface, mix and spread patch. Sil Pro Rapid. Install 11 ADA plates. Install rub rail. Tape and caulk ADA panel perimeter. Miscellaneous lumber, equipment, materials, hardware. And supervision and cleanup. So that is something that obviously is good for us, and it didn't cost us anything. So thank you, NEPA.
Yeah, with that in mind, I just wanted, for people that are using the train, will be using the train in the near future, when you get on the high-level platform, you'll see that the tactile strips are in poor condition. They're close to being a tripping hazard. So I ask people, be aware that we know that and we're on it. And it's just a matter of waiting till spring so that it can be redid.
So this thing's been signed by Patricia and the town?
Well, I don't know if it's been signed because it didn't come to me. It's between the DPW director and, but it's been approved. So it's.
And we want Public Works to do it instead of
No,
private contractors.
it's private contract.
Private contractors, but the
I thought it was
public.
Jeffrey Beck.
Yeah, but John, they're short on personnel, so they've just
I knew
hired
they're
out
short.
some contractors to do the
Okay.
work.
Yep.
Let me, if I may back up a
Yeah,
little
please.
bit, because a moment ago it was charged. The packet that you got from Melissa does include in it the town's charge to us. It's just a one-page memo, purpose and responsibilities. I'm suggesting that that's just sort of an entry for us, and that we may want to take the next meeting or so and decide what we want to do in terms of our mission and goals for this next year, say, something doable for this next year? I'm just suggesting that.
Excuse me, John, is
As a-
I don't see that.
as a
Yeah, I don't
step
think we
have it.
have, I don't think we have
I
that.
don't have it. In my stapled bundle.
No, it's not.
No, it was in, did you get a blue package from Melissa?
No,
Yeah.
Are we supposed to go up and sign some paperwork?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, I didn't do it either.
You didn't do it either?
Okay, so there's more information coming.
Oh,
Yes, there's a small,
I didn't see it, by the way.
there's a
I
small
didn't
blue
see it.
packet that she gives that has the charge in it and also makes
you
us
could have a job.
aware of the RSA 91A requirements. That's in this packet that you should get from Melissa.
So
Thank you.
Say that again?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Sure. I'll be fine.
No, that's okay, you don't have to.
Yeah, that's good.
We're good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Like Don said, that's sort of,
Yeah, we'll get it and we'll know next time.
All right, but just for those that are watching on the committee, the purpose of this packet that we all have, it says the train committee is established to advocate for and support efforts to expand and promote increased train service and ridership in Exeter. The committee will advise and collaborate with key town departments and boards on train-related priorities. So that's a good starting point for our next, just to have it on record, so
Thank you.
everyone's, this is what we're
Okay.
in our packet, so.
okay, so that's that, and then we have the state of good repair. The next item we have is the update on the Exeter, New Hampshire train station planning and design project and application to the Rural and Tribal Assistance Pilot Program grant. So, this is a grant that the ad hoc committee worked together and applied $800,000 to this, to these folks, the RTA, and they were planning on issuing awards sometime in the late fall or early winter before the end of the year. Because of the things that are going on at the federal government, they're still going to release it, but they haven't yet. So we don't know. I think it was somebody told me yesterday, it might have been John, no news is good news. And so, or no, it was Corey. No news is good news. So right now it's no news, and they said they're hoping to get it out in early February. So we will find out. And I'll just quickly, briefly say what that would be for. The town of Exeter is seeking funding to complete a two-phase planning project. Phase one will include preliminary planning activities and analysis to develop a conceptual design for the new passenger facility and develop a series of design alternatives for the new overall train station facility. Once potential alternatives have been identified, the design team will conduct a robust alternatives analysis supported by public outreach and engagement to select a preferred alternative. Phase two will include preliminary design and preferred alternative in the passenger facility and completion of federal and state local permitting. Additionally, phase two will include initial right-of-way investigation and coordination. Collectively, phases 1 and 2 will advance the overall project by determining a preferred alternative and advancing the design enough to determine a realistic estimated final design and construction cost for use in seeking additional funding opportunities for final design and construction. So that is for $800,000, and hopefully we get it, and then we can move ahead with that.
And that's for the design of the train station.
That's exactly right.
On our property, not CSA's.
That's what we discussed.
Yeah.
So.
Just a comment on that. Kudos to Darren for finding this funding source, this grant for us. And then bringing VHB, who has done a lot of work for the town and was the original designers of what we see up there in the platform. And so they put this together and sent it in. So we're reading this out. So that brings me back to a discussion we've had before. Is it possible for us to get a copy of that whole application?
What I have is in here.
That's it?
That's what I have, yeah.
So this is what they submitted?
This is what they submitted.
Okay, thank you.
Because what's happened is with the change of in the presidency, a lot of the federal grants now,
Yes.
they've winnowed them down from what was
Yes.
a lot of pages down to very, very few. And yeah, very challenging getting a hold of anybody at these agencies, unfortunately, because there's so much turmoil. Okay, the next thing in your packet, which is I want to discuss with you, is the Plan New Hampshire Community Design Charrette Program. Now, we did do a charrette back before I started in 2014, sometime prior to that, I believe it was 2010.
What's 2010?
There was a charrette done. Now, I'm very familiar with the charrette process. I was asked to be a volunteer on the latest one, the Plan New Hampshire one in Hampton. And it was a fantastic experience, and they do an amazing job. The only thing that I think was a shame was the owners of the properties involved, the business owners, weren't involved in the charrette process. I think we have an opportunity here to do so. And so I want to discuss what this is and the funding for it and the map I've made. I spoke today with David Cowie, who owns the property directly across from the platform on Rockingham Street. It's a sizable piece, and asked him, hey, listen, are you familiar with Plan New Hampshire Charrette? Yes, I am. Would you like to be a part of this process and possibly look at your parcel? Yes, I absolutely would. And so, likewise, the two parcel handkerchief factory is for sale right now for $2.99 million. There is a lot of opportunity on that parcel. There was some interest some time ago, and one of the interested parties had a focus group come up from Massachusetts and from Boston specifically and visit the site and said, hey, if I was to buy this property and build it out into condos or apartments, would you be interested? Overwhelmingly, yes. He couldn't come to a price with the owner at the time, since now that price has gone down to $299, which is something that hopefully someone will purchase. We have in this area the mixed-use neighborhood development. Now, the mixed-use neighborhood development calls for mixed use, which would be the commercial and residential. Important part here, if you were to do the mixed-use neighborhood development MUND, 10% of the units would be affordable, have to be affordable and affordable in perpetuity. So the developers are now looking at that property, are interested in using the MUND because with the MUND you're able to get, you can have more density. Instead of having one parking space per bedroom, you can have it one per unit, etc. Height and setbacks, side setbacks and what have you, things that incentivize using this economic development tool on this parcel. So there has been a lot of interest. And so the Plan New Hampshire Charrette is here. It is a non-fillable, unfortunately, application, so they asked me to print out the questions and answer them, and that is what you have as the back. This has been put together. Now, to do a charrette, Plan New Hampshire charges $6,500. However, if you are a HOP community, which we are,
Excuse me, what is HOP community?
Housing Opportunity, what's the P, Dougie? Just says your support for staff. Help me out with the P. I don't know what it is. I apologize. But we are, in fact, so they would waive that fee. We would be eligible for $2,000, up to $2,000, between $500 and $2,000, which is a supplement to this. You can't print it off, so I didn't print it off. I did fill it out. What I have to do now is, what I'm going to ask the committee to do is I will send these to you electronically. If you have any changes, you want any changes, please let me know. Unfortunately, I have to submit it by February 1st, and we won't be having a meeting. I'm happy to have a meeting between now and then, but I have to submit it by February 1st for the HOP portion of it to get that incentive. So if you look at the map, you'll notice I've included, and I sent it to the ad hoc committee, or some of the ad hoc committee, I've made sure I've taken out any residential units in this, right? I've included both sides of the train, including to include the large parcels on the east side of the train tracks, Prescott Pump and Dave Cowie's Rockingham, the west side of the train station. So Dave Cowie's property and Prescott Pump in there. Obviously, two things that could be invested in along with the handkerchief factory property. And I've brought it between Front Street all the way out to Main Street and included those parcels. Does and again, they're all just commercial in there. Is there anybody that has any issue with this map any,
The only thing I see is that it looks like you have Winter Street Cemetery in there also. I mean,
No,
no, is it outside it?
yeah, no.
Is it up? Okay.
Winter Street is on, the words Winter Street are on top of the cemetery.
Okay,
But
so,
I think that
So when it's-
Cowie owns,
yeah, right here.
along that street, where it says Harvard.
The old,
deed,
yes, the old
He
house.
owns that street and then closer to Winter Street heading down.
Yeah, that's right.
So he owns,
It should be Rockingham Street.
you know, he owns, wait, I'm sorry.
His property is a little bit bigger, but I think you only got half of it.
Oh, you know what?
Which
I
is
think
no,
you're right.
Yeah.
No, are you?
I mean, I don't know if it matters.
It does matter. We want to get the whole thing.
So, does he own both sides of Rockingham Street? That's the question.
Is Rockingham Street where the D is?
Rockingham Street.
In Harvard? Rockingham Street's not labeled.
No, Rockingham is the closest to the buildings down.
It's where the red line is.
Yeah, I think I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it right, but I see what you're saying. I'm happy to take
I
it.
think it goes from the coffee cup left to Winter Street, and the only thing taken out is Cody's Auto Body, which is no longer
Right.
Cody's Auto Body.
That's Dartmouth Street there, from the coffee cup.
Yeah, I'll double check it. So do you guys, so if once we get that right, do you guys agree with that being the territory? Because what I found out with the Charette and Hampton is these people are talented. And if we, and there's a lot of them, and you know, it's a better application if we're able to include more. When you read through the application, you'll see, because they really talk about what is this impact around it. So I think it's important to get these properties, particularly knowing that they're available for sale and that they're available for redevelopment. And the owners, or at least one owner that I've talked to, is very much excited about seeing investment and reinvesting in his property.
Bob and I, in history, go back to the one that was 2010. And I don't know that a map like this was developed, but I do know that the conversations we had were far beyond just Lincoln Street.
Yeah.
And we were calling at that time West X. And we had a lot of community input into it from people as far down as Main Street, from Main Street clear over beyond
Columbus.
all that
Yeah.
whole area. So I sent
I think the
both
map is
Bob
okay.
and you a note the other day saying, while we could go with this sort of hard red line, I think we ought to be thinking of a broader umbrella for discussion that includes the community, because I think a community involvement on this is absolutely important, because they're part of the stakeholders
We're
as
going
well.
to do that anyway.
So my question is, in the requirements for the New Hampshire plan, do you have to have just commercial activities
No.
in the plan?
No.
Okay.
If you want to expand it and you think we should, we definitely can.
Well, we have to draw, I mean, you're saying we just draw a big circle.
Well, we should have
radius
a
or
mile.
something that would bring in more of the community. Because
I
this
mean,
excludes,
everybody's going to be invited.
yes, this excludes the residential community. When people would see this, they would say, where are we?
Right. So we need to make it clear that while this is what's being discussed, the redevelopment of
That's
this
another
area,
way, yes.
we want the neighborhood surrounding it
Yeah.
to be involved in discussing it.
And that's what.
And they will be. That's part of the charrette.
But Don's got a great point, because you draw a line and someone says, oh, that doesn't include me.
Okay.
So we
Right, so
need to make
that's-
it clear it does include me.
Yeah, so if we did a big circle around this, and I'm pretty sure Anna wants to be involved too on,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yeah.
so they want to go as far as,
So-
and I don't know if it matters. with
Yeah, so
respect to
my-
where's the red line? I don't
My
know.
suggestion was in alignment with John's, is that if we publish this, maybe we have a blue line or some other circle out there that speaks to the entire, the community within a radius.
Well, you know what we could do is I could expand this and to say, if you look at the map here, we could, because I definitely want to do it along roads. I don't want to make an arbitrary circle.
Okay,
But
right.
if we were to say, come down Front Street to say Tan Lane, that way we'd get both schools. You know, you come back up to Front Street and then maybe up to Park Street and then down.
Well, let me say this, Darren. I think this red line is the area we want to focus on. You know, the area inside the red here on
Okay.
this map.
So,
But Don's point, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go
I just
ahead.
wanted, would it make sense to do that C1 zone, which would expand that red line, like to include like shooters?
That's a good idea.
And the other side, the east side of, you know.
Keep it aligned with the
Yeah,
established
that's a
zoning.
really good idea.
Exactly. Thank you.
But again, to your point, Don, about pulling people in from the neighborhood surrounding is right on. Actually, the whole town should care about this because it's a
Yeah.
transportation.
Right, they will, and that's why I think a circle is a good idea, just like a 1 mile circle around with that centered on the.
But I like the
On the
idea of the
station.
C1 zone.
Yeah, I think.
Because that's where the moon is in play, right?
Then just enhance the
Is the C1 zone where the moon.
which runs all the way down to Gill Street, by the way.
I've only ever seen the charrettes where they go along the, like
Yeah.
they
And that's what the zone line does.
yes, it does.
With this,
I'm gonna bring that up.
Aaron, with this conversation we've had, it might be wise to reach out to the New Hampshire Plan Charrette so that what we are doing is not in obstruction to what their
I will.
capabilities might be doing.
I talked to them this morning. In fact, they didn't ask
We've
me
got to
that.
have that integrated. But I think however we do it, whether there's a red line that talks about the businesses or a circle or a C1, we need to have something that will show people when they look at it that they're included.
Yeah, because we want as many people to show up as possible.
Absolutely.
And
For the
while
program.
Hampton didn't include others in the first charrette, we had a community session twice, I think, in the Lincoln Street School.
Yeah.
We had a great turnout of people. It was very much a community discussion.
Well, and that charrette was very much focused on redeveloping Lincoln Street
It's true.
as
Yes.
a commercial area
Yes.
for that
Yeah.
West Exeter neighborhood.
Can everybody see my computer? Doug's idea is kind of perfect. There's the
I think
C1
that
district.
would be the very least we should do. I mean,
The dark
I think
purple.
expand
No, the light
Tan?
purple, the light,
the light.
The light purple, the whole big area.
no.
The brownish.
The stuff in the
Oh,
middle.
the brown.
Yeah,
That's not
which
what I
is
thought.
tan.
bigger than what I did. It does include ENA and other commercial.
That's great.
So
What's the big purple thing on the?
show
on the
that's a
left?
different zoning, yeah.
Front Street Towers.
No, they can see it. The camera can see it.
Okay.
As long as the camera.
Okay.
Tam just went away.
Oh, and
Start talking.
And the gray is the cemeteries. Okay.
There it is,
Yep.
right there.
That sounds good.
Yeah, okay, so Doug, see, you work.
The purple.
Thank you for coming, Dougie.
The purple is the R5 zone.
R2 zone.
Which is- No, the purple.
Down
Oh, the light
Charter
purple's
Street.
R2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
So.
Okay, so that's all stuff.
The one thing I was gonna recommend, and we've gone to a different map, but these lines here don't tell me anything. So I'm just.
That's me not knowing how to get rid of them.
But if we're doing something like that, if we're getting
The subways.
well, subways, but if we're using that, hopefully it clearly defines what the area is so everybody can see it.
Yeah,
The other thing, I'm just back from my old econometric days, or whatever, primary, secondary, tertiary. So if we want to include a bigger circle when we put it
We
out
can
to
do
the,
that.
to the public, we want to have this is the primary area that, here,
Yeah.
here's 2 miles out of 5 miles, whatever it is, so that everybody knows, that, hey, you have an impact.
so, again, I know I'm getting everybody flat-footed, but the questions that they ask in the charrette are the last couple.
Which you answered, right? You
Yes, I answered,
took a
yeah.
stab at it.
So I
You're
just
saying
submitted it.
if we have any comments on the last
On anything on the
3
last
pieces of paper,
page.
let you know
Yes,
in the
and
next week.
I was very, pretty thorough on them. But any changes you like is perfect, but they do ask, what influence does a project area have on other parts of the community? And how do other parts of the community affect this target area? And then it says further, does this target area have any influence or impact on neighboring communities and vice versa? And so those questions are answered, and they are, as your tertiary, as you were pointing out, yeah, they're definitely being asked as well from them. So, yeah,
That's front of the map. though.
So I take it that this is one of our takeaway assignments as we come here to review the package you gave us, particularly the Plan New Hampshire application.
Just because I
and
have-
comment on it if necessary,
By
necessary.
February 1st.
by February 1st.
Well, but no, he needs it before February 1st because that's a Sunday. So
Let me
Monday.
make a quick point. I have submitted this already.
Oh,
As a placeholder, because they had said, and Plan New Hampshire, again, I have an excellent relationship with them. They have already, they're meeting, their board is meeting to discuss us on the 3rd of February. They already have their, or at least they've already sort of internally decided that they have their spring and their fall charrettes already picked. And so we had the opportunity to be their summer one, and I had to get it in quickly before other folks did. So I had mentioned to the ad hoc members, hey, I'm going to get this done, I'm going to get it in, and we'll get ours placed, and then we'll put it in officially. So I'll alter it, so they know that. So I sent it in as draft.
Thank you.
And
And I think on September 18th, the ad hoc committee met with Plan New Hampshire people.
They did, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're talking about this summer?
This coming summer,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
This coming summer.
Or May.
Summer 2026
That,
was when we,
when the charrette would happen.
yes,
Okay.
yes. And I will get budget and other thing put together once, because I'm gonna need to get some, I'm gonna need to get probably some donations to help pay for this, because there's hotels that have to happen for some of the folks that come in, so.
So you're gonna do it in the summer, the academy's out of session at that point?
Yeah, I kind of will be out of session for the most part. They do some,
Will we recruit representatives from that community?
I'm hoping.
Oh, we can't do it in May, or,
Well,
that's up to them, I thought.
yeah, we have to
They
get it into
already
them.
said they-
Yeah.
That'd just be something to put some extra elbow grease on if they're out of session, so.
Yeah.
Because they're an important constituency
Yeah.
for this area.
Agreed. And in fact, I don't think folks know this, but I think you have to be, how old do you have to be to ride the train? By yourself?
By yourself, I think it's 18.
18, but
you can have,
but PEA has a deal with them. As PEA students are able to ride by themselves up here.
as long as you have somebody to pick them up as yet. But I have one thing, Bob wanted to take a look at this real quick
Yes.
on the packet.
Okay.
It's the very first page of the application for design charrette. It's paragraph 2 of the first section.
Oh, did I get the CSX wrong?
No.
The last 3 pages in our handout,
Yeah,
I think, are the pages that Darren typed up and sent.
right, so.
The last 3 pages.
Last three pages.
And this is the 3rd page from the end.
All right.
Very good.
Very
Go ahead.
yeah.
Okay, what's the point?
So it says the town of Exeter seeks to work with private business owners, area residents, school officials, CSX, and this is Amtrak. Should that be NEPRA?
To grow
both.
the area around
Like,
Exeter Train
because
Station.
Well,
Amtrak's not directly
Yeah, no,
involved. so-
Amtrak wouldn't be affected.
Yeah.
It would be NEPRA.
Okay, so
You're right,
I just want to
you're right.
I thought about to say that.
You're right.
That should be changed to net.
There's
Yeah.
2
Wait, I
ends.
gotta find that myself.
And Northern New England Passenger Railroad.
That's on the very first page.
Oh, it's the very first page.
Of the response.
Oh, I thought it was.
Paragraph. So it should be N,
And
Northern.
Yeah, New England.
NEPRA.
Yep, and I'll spell it out. That's no good.
And I have another question I want to.
And then the other part would be, the school officials, that would include any school, whether Lincoln Street, Main Street, and Phillips.
Yeah, because it's the school
Okay,
boards
school.
we're talking about.
Yeah, and then you see later on when I talk about, because it's asked who owns, and I put SAU 16 on that same question later on, I think.
Yeah.
Because they asked the question, like who owns, please indicate who owns or controls key property within it. And I said properties in the shred are owned by a mix of private owners, including landlords, town-owned property, CSX-owned rail property, and SAU-owned school.
Yeah.
You know what, that should be schools, right?
Right, that should be
Yeah.
schools. And would,
Well, what about Phillips Exeter too?
right, that would be a.
Oh, well,
Well, the charrette area is the red.
we want to work with them, so yeah, so you know what?
Yeah, put
I would
them
put the caps, we're expanding the area, so it would include.
If
They
it goes
use
as
the
far
same
as Phillips Exeter.
Right.
Okay,
Minimum there in neighboring properties.
yeah, I'll have to figure that one out.
Before our hour is up, I just want to go back to the break.
We only have an hour?
Well, yeah.
Well, that was my question, do you guys want to do an hour and a half?
Hour is good if we can do it.
Okay. Hour.
Less is more
Let's try
efficient.
an hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's,
About 15 minutes?
My question is, the title, Exeter Train Committee.
Oh, you're coming back to something else.
I don't, I think that that's misleading. We have nothing to do with the train.
What do you want to call it?
Station, that's what we're talking about.
So actually,
Yeah, train
Exeter Train Station Committee?
Son, we just can't do train alone.
Okay.
You could call it train station, but
Okay.
we're talking.
okay, I can get that fixed.
Yeah.
It's a good point, because I think in the discussion that we've had, is this going to be a multimodal center? It's going
I'm
to be,
hoping.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
going to be a train, it's going to be
Yeah.
pedestrian,
Bus
it's going to be
people.
buses,
So,
it's multimodal,
So
so
it's-
I think Bob is a good point, and I don't know what that means going back to the
I'll find out.
select board to change it. But I just think if it's if it's a transportation center or transportation station,
Yeah.
it's more appropriate to what we're trying
And
to.
calling it the train station.
Yes, yeah.
Than calling it.
And we have no
train station.
influence on the train, really.
No, I understand that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but
just-
the trains are our biggest
Just
thing.
to get a better sense of what you're trying to say, Don, do you think it should be Exeter Transportation Station Committee?
That would be, I think that would be more inclusive, yes.
Let me,
It would not limit us.
let me run that up the flagpole.
Yeah.
on the select board.
Do you want station or you want
But just that's my
transportation
thought.
center?
Yeah.
Don't-
I think it's gotta say station.
Do you wanna say station?
You know,
Okay.
most people are, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
We don't have a so you gotta have either train or station.
Yeah.
Station.
I mean, I sort of like
Station
having
works.
train in there now. like
Transportation station or train station?
Changing in 5 years to transportation.
Okay, train station.
Stuff.
Okay.
That,
Exeter train station.
that's what I like,
So
but these guys don't.
So, all right, hold on.
This is why we should have elected officers first.
So,
Just saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
as a committee member, I'd like to make a motion
Oh,
that we, as follows, that we consider renaming the committee to be the Exeter Train Station Committee, or something that's more inclusive, subject to select board approval.
Yeah, so you're making a suggestion. to the
Suggestion.
select board.
I'm making a motion for a suggestion to the select board that we, as a committee, look at changing the name to Exeter Train Station Committee, or something that's more inclusive.
How does that work out as an acronym?
Well,
So it has to, hold on, so,
ETSC.
so,
Let's see.
and if it changes to transportation, like you said, in 5 years, it still says E ETSC.
okay, I'll amend that.
I think that's good.
I will amend that.
I think it's
That we-
really very, very.
We have
Second.
a second, okay.
For discussion.
Open for discussion.
So Exeter
That's what I'm
Train
saying.
Station Committee for now?
For now.
Subject to.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you so much. I think
There we
that's
go.
a great idea.
So, just to be clear, and one of the things I need for the charrette, right, which has to be submitted no later than the 1st of February, are letters of support from the select board. The only, letters of support from whatever groups, but the select board only meets again before the end of the year on the 20th, which is Tuesday, which I'm gonna be there for that. I have to wait till after everything else is done.
You do?
But anyway, it is what it
First
is.
and foremost, the budget.
So this can be
Public
a
budget.
discussion there. The motion you guys have put forward, it can be discussed there and then. Because I'll put it in a memo.
Well, that's up to the chair.
Or, yeah, I'll put it in the memo.
We
And,
don't do the agenda of the select board.
fair enough.
The chair does.
I'll put it in the memo and then they can decide. Thank you. Which brings us to, I think, election of officers. So,
So you need a chair, a vice chair, and a clerk.
and one more thing, really great news. The town was able to provide us a recording secretary. Otherwise, we would have had to vote somebody in as a recording secretary. But the recording secretary is going to take these meetings, which are being filmed, and then we'll get our minutes from
That's
them.
nice.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Thank
awesome.
you in advance to the recording secretary.
That's-
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. This is
What's
where
the
I
clerk
step
do?
back.
I understand chairperson and vice chairperson. What's a clerk do on one of these committees?
Well, they're responsible for the minutes, but that's being, so they
Taken
would.
care
they
of.
would-
So it's not called a secretary? Okay. Okay.
So do we still have to have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You need 3.
Okay.
Have at it, you guys. And gals.
Somebody want to make a nomination for one or the other?
I nominate John for chair.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Any discussion?
Oh, yes,
Sorry.
that's right. Any
Anybody
discussion?
others? Any others?
Goofy hat, but all right, other than that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Approve? All in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, done.
Ja-
So, vice chair. Who'd like to nominate somebody for vice chair? And it can be an ad hoc person? I mean,
No.
No.
it has to be a
Someone
resident?
who is a voting
Okay.
member, yeah. So you're.
Do we lose Jen? Oh, she had to go, that's right.
She had to go 11:30.
But I think she's a voting member
There's-
anyway.
The other members who are not here are Anna and Tony and who else?
That's it.
But Tony is, what's the word?
He's an alternate.
Alternate, so I don't think you can be a.
So I nominate Darius for vice chair.
I'll second that.
I will.
Any discussion?
Hey, you gotta get it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Done. So we need a clerk.
I'll volunteer for the clerk.
All right.
Second.
Second, yes. Don for clerk. Any discussion?
Who made the motion?
I volunteered.
Who has the motion?
I second it. Yeah.
That's great. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Thank you. Done.
So Chairman, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Just a suggestion, it came up a moment ago, and I like the one that for the Pure Point, my good friend Steve Jones, who runs a 1 hour meeting. And when the 1 hour is up, the meeting is up. So that keeps everything going, and it really works. So that's just a suggestion that we try to hold it to an hour. The other one is, when is the charrette possibly be going to held? Has there been a date for it or not?
No, they're just the summer. They don't know when in the summer.
They don't
have,
know yet.
Because they have to get all the volunteers to agree.
I thought
There's a lot of
I thought I
volunteers.
heard a date.
No, just the summer. And they're actually accommodating us. They don't normally do more than 2 a year, but they definitely are excited to do this one. So if everybody's okay with it, I'm going to take Joe's suggestion because I do have to have that. I do have to have a map, and I have to have it in. So if everybody agrees with Doug's suggestion, I'll go with what's already been identified in C1, if that works.
And that's where the MUND was adopted, right?
Correct.
The mixed-use neighborhood.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So that's appropriate as well.
Yes.
So that works doubly.
So are you saying you need a motion?
Well, no, I just want to
do
motion. I just want to make sure you guys are all good with that.
Now we have,
I think it's great.
Does it,
You want to do that?
yes, so I make a motion that we adopt the map that's identified by the C1 area.
Just a comment before we do that, Jared, is if that's going to be the replacement for the red,
Yep.
then I would suggest somehow, so that you know, the charrette know, is that whether you want to draw a circle or just a statement that say, and associated neighborhoods, something that says
I can do that.
we're not leaving them out. Maybe that would be good enough, that plus associated neighborhoods.
I think that's pretty well written. You know, and again, nobody's had a chance to read it, obviously, but I think that's pretty well articulated in the questions.
Yeah.
But if I can certainly put that in there.
Or highlight it or some way.
Yeah.
So when we promote attendance at this,
Yes,
that's
yes.
when that's.
Right.
Yes, yes.
I think you're going to have great attendance.
We had it in the last one, yeah.
Yeah. It affects everybody.
So I'd like to amend the motion as to accept that C1 map with Don's suggestion of drawing a circle that inclusive when we do promotions in that part, and also ensure the wording that we've talked about is included in the updated packet that's being sent well in advance of the 1st of February.
Second. Motion and
Any
second.
other discussion?
I just want to make sure that the academy is included in this, because academy is a player. And I just,
Well, it can be in the narrative.
It will be in the narrative.
you know, because while they're not represented here, we certainly want them to be represented in anything
Great points.
as we move on.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Was that approved?
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. Done. So I had two little comments. Are you done with your thing?
Yes.
One is that we might try to make comments on this, take this home, take your pen to it and scan it or something, or bring a photocopy to
I'll send it. I'll send electronically everything you have right here to everybody.
yeah, and you want us to Google Drive comment and send stuff
Anything you
back?
think, yeah.
I'm gonna just use my pen and go through with a cappuccino and give it back to you with my comments. By January 27?
Works for me.
That'll give you 3 days to revise it? Okay. And the second comment I had was, how far before a meeting, because our next meeting will be February 19th, do we want the agenda and the minutes to be sent out to us? This meeting, I think we got it, 2 days ahead? Which is too short for me.
No, it's too short.
So
I know.
how many
First time.
days do we want? And it's my job to work with Pam, right? Make that happen?
I would say at least.
Is that right?
At least a week.
Because you got enough to do.
Along with the staff side support.
Is it a week?
You and Darren would work together, but yes, it is your responsibility as chair.
So I'll just send her an email saying, please send it out like a week ahead?
And you and I can talk beforehand.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
One other item is, you're going to go pick up your blue folders?
Yes.
Those that have them?
Yes, thank you.
It's something we need to be aware of, and you can pick up on that, Dan.
Yeah.
Is there's the 90 RSA 93A that we need to be conscious of?
Yeah, so,
What's that say? What's it tell us?
so the big thing you want to avoid is running a meeting via email, right?
Yeah.
So never hit reply all on an email to the committee. The only things that we're really allowed to use email for are to set up meetings and distribute documents. Having an email conversation amongst a quorum of the committee, which I think would be 3 or 4, is basically running a public meeting in violation of the open meeting laws of the state. So be careful how you use email or text. Group text would do the same, would be the same violation.
So is it possible for the chairperson or one of us to send an email to the entire group and say, respond only to me for a change in a meeting or a time or anything?
You as chair are running a serial meeting.
But it's only one person.
Oh, I'm sorry. To set up a meeting, the logistics of setting up the meeting is fine,
Okay,
but you don't want to discuss anything of
substance.
substance.
Okay.
Correct.
And Darren can send us out documents. Revisions. That doesn't violate that.
That's right.
And the other thing to be aware of, if, say, 4 of us are actually at the
Meet for
same...
coffee.
No. If we meet for coffee, that's a problem, but if we happen to be in the same location at the same time, just to be aware, if we're just...
We can't talk business.
That's correct.
Okay.
So,
You got it?
Yeah, probably better if the 27th might be pushing it if everybody has comments.
so
What do you mean? What?
What you wanted earlier?
Today's the 15th, right?
Okay.
If you don't get the comments to the 27th,
Okay,
it'll
so
be
by
really
the 20th,
convoluted.
we'll get comments to you by January 20th.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think there'll be a ton of them because it's pretty, it's a grant. Basically, they ask a question, here's your answer.
By the, what date? The 20th?
January 20th.
Okay. Good start today.
Now all you have to do is adjourn.
And the next meeting definitely will be February 19th.
February 19th, 11 o'clock. Is 11 o'clock an okay time to meet?
in this room,
Yes.
Yeah, it is from, yeah.
Yeah.
It has all.
Okay.
that's fine stuff. I'd like to make a motion.
Excellent.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, we don't need a second on that.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Oh, we do?
You do.
Same.
Second. Oh, I can't vote, sorry.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you
Good
very
start,
much.
and thank you, Darren.
Thank you for
guys.
tuning in
Appreciate
to
it.
Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.